Well, good evening, Marylanders. I am Mia Mason, and I'm glad to be here with you this evening because we are 20 days away from the election day, and I want to let you know why you should vote for us. And one of the most important things that happens is that we are running in Maryland's 1st Congressional District. It's a district that's the size of 2 Delawares, and we have 12 of the 24 counties. So we'll be right back and we'll let you know more about what we are doing for our communities. I'm Ian Mason. I'm running for Congress. Our voters are at the helm in 2020 because our education has failed us. Our infrastructure has failed us. If you're driving force, we can fix that, especially in our healthcare, because your vote actually matters and you have the choice in 2020. I'm Mia Mason, and I approve this message. Welcome back. Wanted to let you know that here tomorrow is the last day to get registered to vote. From then, you have 8 days until you can request your ballot. I highly recommend that you download your ballot online and print it out so that you can actually put it in a ballot box as soon as possible. Do remember that we have early voting starting October 26th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. to November 2nd from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They're also going to be available to have your drop-off ballot locations available. So if you've already requested your ballot, please understand that it is in the mail and it is coming. Just make sure that you get it into the ballot box nearest you before November 3rd. If not, please make sure that it gets postmarked before then. Please understand that if you have not received your ballot by November 3rd, you must go to a voting location and get a provisional ballot to make sure that you do not double vote. So why should we vote for me, Mia Mason? Well, as a veteran, a friend, and an advocate, I wanted to let you know about us and our communities, because we need to invest in rebuilding our infrastructure. It is a good way to make sure that our planet stays here and that our communities have a road to drive on, water to go in the tap, food that goes in the fridge and the freezer, and it creates thousands of good paying jobs, especially when you can just simply come home and turn on the lights. Those are the types of jobs that this infrastructure needs. We call it the Green New Deal, we call it a lot of other things. But the thing is that we are voting about the policies. We need to be able to make sure that we can get through this pandemic by you making sure that you're safe. The other thing is that we have a lot of communities that are still hurting right now because of this pandemic. Farmers and teachers. Farmers were hurt by tariffs, and the teachers, well, they're learning a big difficulty right now. In fact, several of them went to Annapolis to try to get all of our schools to reopen. As a parent, we understand that this is very important for us because most of us are still at home watching them do their e-learning and also having to work a full-time job. Now, if you're salary like us, it is very difficult to try to make sure that you complete all of your work when you're also trying to educate your children. So therefore, for our farmers and teachers, one of the things that happens is that you run out of time. So we also understand there's not a lot of money to be made as a farmer or a teacher anymore. So we want to be able to offer them a universal basic income to make sure that their needs are met. Now, one of the biggest things that is in Maryland is called the Chesapeake Bay. We need to make sure that our EPA actually has the teeth to make sure that the Chesapeake Bay is protected, including its airways and its shores, because our shores are surely becoming more and more eroded as the rising sea levels takes away our lands, salts our farms, and doesn't allow us to grow the proper crops. Now, there's a lot of opportunities here and a lot of suggestions on how to fix this. Well, we have to create those jobs in order to get those projects done, which requires federal funding. Sadly, we can't just provide a grant to fix it. Grants only do so much. We need actual federal legislation to make sure that it's a decades-long bill and program so that we have those jobs for a lifetime so that they can stay here on our shores. Now, most people see that, we can just start drilling or we can have pipelines. It's really not going to work. It only provides temporary development for the 10 to 20 years that we still have fossil fuels left. That really has to change. We have renewable energies and battery storage technologies which are second to none. We need to be able to make sure that this type of technology happens as soon as possible. Especially here on the Eastern Shore, many farmers have given up, bought solar panels, and started making money by selling power. We also have an opportunity for wind power, like many residential units do have. But when we're talking about providing power for an entire city, we need to be able to make sure that that job for the union workers, the electrical workers, and the corporations that want to be able to provide that power to the city can get done. It is not a national security threat. It's not even really a big bad eyesight for the shore. So no matter where it's built, it needs to be able to make sure that it happens sooner than later, because we can't continue to rely on fossil fuels, because we cannot have them drilling out there to create fuel. We can actually have them drill out there to create coastal reefs, to protect our shores, provide natural habitats for the fishermen to actually have more food and capabilities to grow and have a better income for them and their families, so the fishermen can actually do their job and have fish to go out and go catch, especially the crabs. Gotta love that. So if you have something that you want to eat, put in the fridge or the freezer tonight, think of fisherman, because he's been out there on the Chesapeake Bay or Atlantic Ocean looking for those fish throughout the day, the evening, or the night. Now, as you see the person behind me, her seat is currently being fulfilled or nominated by another person, which means that we still have to fight for that equity and equality into our communities. By this Wednesday, we'll know if somebody is getting confirmed, or if people are powerful enough, like you, who actually vote for people like me, we can make sure that as an advocate for our LGBT rights, they're protected. Yes, protected. Okay? I'm an advocate for Black Lives Matter. I understand what criminal justice reform is, and it is polling well here in Maryland. It has to be able to get accomplished so that our teachers and farmers actually have the social programs that they need and the income that they need, instead of our police being completely militarized. So those are many things that we want to be able to do within our Eastern Shore community, which is half the state. 12 of 24 counties need our support. It starts with you. If you go vote, or you come down here to miadmason.com/donate, that money actually goes right back into our campaign. We're talking about what you're going to see in the mail, what you're going to see in the TV very soon. So please, feel free to be obligated to this grassroots campaign, because we're not taking corporation PACs from fossil fuels. It's just not going to happen in our campaign. So now, the biggest thing I will have to be able to tell you about is healthcare. Everybody has been hurt through this pandemic. It is something that has happened to everyone. You've been there. You've lost your job. You've lost your car. You've lost your home. You're looking for a new job. And something happens. Your teeth, your vision, your back, your knee, your foot, your ankle, whatever it is. You need Medicare. You need some type of health care. And when you go look it up, even with ACA, it costs a lot. But here with Medicare for All, we're trying to provide something at a fixed price point per year for you and the entire family, regardless of if you have a job or not. That's way more affordable than the a la carte corporations that are providing us our current healthcare platform right now. Because why are you paying more for being a woman? Why are you paying more because you have a pre-existing condition? Why are you paying triple when you're over 55? Why do you have to go to 65 and then actually apply for Part A, Part B, C, and D? Let's just make it one position, Medicare, for all. Regardless of how old you are, regardless of what doctor you want to go see, let's get them paid. Let's get you fixed. Let's get you understood about who you are and why you're there to see that doctor, to get the help that you need as soon as possible. especially in our rural communities. You have to drive 2 hours sometimes to go see a doctor or a specialist. Let's get that changed. Telemedicine is available, just like I am talking to you right now. You can talk to a doctor and then go to the local care center, get your x-ray, CTs, or exams or blood work done to make you better. It's working right now during this pandemic, telemedicine. Let's make sure that it's included, because like me, a veteran, it's been a blessing. Instead of having to go wait in a lobby room, see my doctor, be rushed in and rushed out as if I was a number. You shouldn't be treated like that, especially when we understand the doctors work on profit margins. And we also know that the more patients they see per hour, the more money they make. Let's make it a little bit easier for them to make the money that they need to survive as well. Any physician should understand this, not trying to force a vaccine through red tape and then give it to us when we don't even know how effective it is. Now, we have a lot of other issues as well. We still have a huge opioid epidemic that's happening in 4 of the 12 counties. It's so bad that a majority of the counties have decided to go purple, but we want them to go blue. We want them to be able to make sure that they have the harm reduction that other representatives have decided to vote against. We need to be able to provide those solutions and those strategies so that our community is completely protected. Because if it is something that you have a chemical dependency for, understand that other things like marijuana are not a gateway drug. It is that doctor or physician who has provided you this instead of providing you something that is more healthy, alternative for you. And I'm not talking about water, Tylenol, Motrin. I'm talking about marijuana and hemp. Because here on the Eastern Shore, one of the biggest things that we have is how to pay for all of this. Well, it's a great product. Its manufacturing is very simple. We can make all types of things from it. The automotive industry wants to be able to use it. The space industry wants to be able to use it. So let's start growing it here on the Eastern Shore. Let's make sure it gets fully legalized so that the entire nation can benefit from this product. Yes, I'm super progressive, but yes, I want to see you have a wonderful job that pays you well, so you don't have to have 3 to 4 jobs or 2 in order to just pay rent. This can all change, and it requires you to do something now. Take my word for it. Go to miadmason.us, read the policies, go to my opponent, go to the other presidential opponent, go to our nominee, and make sure that you understand what our policies are. How can this affect you and your family now? We're not trying to take away those guns. We're not trying to do this. We're not trying to, be pro-life. We understand that life is a choice. I can hop in a car tomorrow and probably end up in an accident, but I made that choice to drive that car. Many had accidents today in this rain, and we want to make sure that they get the proper health care that they need as soon as possible. With that being taken away, if Amy gets nominated, it's going to cost those families a lot more in the future. So you have the choice now to make that vote count. You know what you have to do. We have to get somebody who says yes for you, represents you, and if you ever need anything, give me a call, 410-94-MASON, or go to the website, leave us a message. You actually get a response from us. Now, the last thing I know is fundraising has been super difficult during this entire time for this pandemic. $1, $5, $10, if you can spare that, please make sure that it goes to a wonderful cause here in our campaign to help get rid of somebody who has been hurting you in the community for the last 10 years that he says he's been a physician. He hasn't. He's been a lobbyist for corporations. So go to miadmason.com/donate and make a wonderful contribution right now. Thank you for your time, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you directly to make sure that you are taken care of today. Sorry it's going to have to start in January, but you have to make that decision to vote right now in October and November so that every vote is counted and we can replace Representative Harris with me, Mia Mason. So, like I said, go to miadmason.us, make your decision tonight. I'm Mia Mason. I'm running for Congress. Our voters are at the helm in 2020 because our education has failed us. Our infrastructure has failed us. With your driving force, we can fix that, especially in our healthcare, because your vote actually matters and you have the choice in 2020. I'm Mia Mason, and I approve this message.